Our next speaker is Dr. Thomas Ehrl, who's going to be talking about how to transfer complex knowledge in distance learning. Thomas has a degree in mechanical engineering and graduated from the University of Northampton in 2021 with a PhD. His PhD thesis, he enlightens the interrelated complexity of distance learning and demonstrates a way to transfer sophisticated engineering knowledge at a distance in the most efficient and most effective way. In his engineering career, which started back in 1994, he works in different work environments such as plant technology, medical devices, steel milling, and the lift industry with ThyssenKrupp. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. As we already learned, I'm talking about knowledge transfer. And basically what I'm referring to is a 7-year research project I did with the University of Northampton. My supervisor was Stefan Kaczmarczyk, and as some of you may know, he's about to retire end of October. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Stefan, for all the work you put in the project, to your dedication, and you giving me the opportunity to grow during this, let's say, learning journey. Thanks a lot, Stefan. I have something for you, put a dedication into it, and I know that you are in musicians, and this is hopefully something you like to read. Without you, I would have not been able to present this. So again, thank you. So before I jump into the topic, I'd like to introduce myself real quick. I come here to a point where you have the choice. I can do this presentation, whole presentation, really boring, heavy, text heavy, or interactive. I'm assuming, if I look into your faces, we do this interactive.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Okay, and for this reason, we follow path A, which is the interactive presentation of the topic. And I start with myself. I was born in 1968, the year Jimi Hendrix introduced his album Electric Ladyland. I was born into the Ruhr area. And that is a rural area which is, and we talked about that yesterday, maybe comparable to the Manchester, Birmingham, let's say, Black Country area. So lots of coal mines, steel plants. The air was not good, so lots of dust in it. However, to build the bridge to the UK, I can tell you that I'm a motorcycle enthusiast, and I'm riding a motorcycle built in 1958 in Birmingham. So it's a BSA Super Rocket. But I'm much more than the researcher or the presenter at the conference. I am husband, a father, a twin brother even, friend. I would call myself a good cook anyway, but I'm also a dog owner of this beautiful Labrador dog, Sally. But now let's come to the topic. We are here at the Lift conference, and I'd like to talk about the background of the research project. And basically, it all started with this technology, piece of technology, the maglev train. So this is a high-speed train using linear motor technology in a horizontal way. And years ago, and those days I worked for ThyssenKrupp, there was the idea to change the mode from horizontal to vertical. And this piece of technology has been put into this beautiful test tower. And I remember the days when my office was in the height of 213 meters with a beautiful look over the landscape. So into this test tower, ThyssenKrupp put the multi-installation, a massive installation, 9 by 3 by 70 meters, lots of metal, lots of copper, and they put it into this double shaft. This is, some of you may have seen that picture. Meanwhile, this is something I learned from an ex-colleague. Thanks to you, Jörg. There is they did some kind of revolution and put something different into this. But anyway, this was the idea, and the technical topic of my research project was to improve the ride quality of this piece of equipment. Because ride quality of lifts is an essential topic, and that goes also back to you, Rory. I also learned a lot of the basic and lots of things about ride quality in regards to this specific piece of technology. The novel thing is that this is not using ropes and very lightweight. So, the results of the study, and I mentioned that already, it was a 7-year journey for me, and it resulted in this piece of work, PhD, 240 slides, 240 pages. But the results I put on one slide. I collected 10,000 data points, qualitative, quantitative data. I had questionnaires with, in total, separated to 3 different sets, 60 questions. I did modeling, simulations, analysis on the technical side in regards to vibration control, but also 10 hours of interview material I had to collect. I had in total 420 participants, engineers from the lift industry from all over the world. Some of them are in this room. Did surveys, questionnaires, and so on and so forth. So, but the guiding question for my research project was, what is important to transfer that knowledge? Because that knowledge has been developed in the, let's say, in an engineering cave, but it needed to be brought to the world. And I'd like to answer this question together with you. And when I say together with you, I mean really together with you. So your interaction is now, and your active participation is now asked. So question first, one is, how do people learn? What comes to your mind?
Playing games.
Playing games, so interactivity, perfect. What else? Experience.
Repetition.
Yeah, all right. So you guys are in the topic, and this is exactly what I found out. This is definitely something which needs to be considered when it comes to efficient, effective knowledge transfer. Where does that happen? It happens in the classroom, or maybe in a setting like we have today, but also these days it happens in distance. So you can read a book, but also you can do e-learning, you can search the web. YouTube is definitely a great source for knowledge in all regards. If I look into your faces, I'm 100% sure that the preferences, how to learn, is different. Some people read books, some people like to listen to a podcast, some need videos, whatever. And this guides me to the next question. What would you consider different, to be different learning preferences? One I already mentioned, so the active participation is one, reflection, the haptics, you mentioned video gaming, so it's kind of, let's say, role play. But there's one thing which is definitely something we all want, and this is the activity, the active participation, and the interconnection with other people. And I'll come to that in just a minute. So, this is actually what I wanted to hear from you. I put that on this slide. So, there are activists. There are, let's say, more structured learners. The kinetic topic is something which is important. Visual, oral. Some of us, and I'm looking into your face, Stefan, are really keen on theories, complex theories, but not everybody can digest that. All right. But that comes to the next topic, because all this is just some basic, or the basic fundament. It's in structural design, which is also important for effective and efficient learning programs. And the question I have, what is it in structural designs? And this is a very specific question, and I'm not going to ask you about this because it's quite complex. Some of us may know what it is. Ludwig, I think you definitely know what I mean. But the essence of this is that what we are doing, what we put together in a book, in a video, in an e-learning, needs to be clear. Needs to be clear to the person who wants to learn. And I mentioned, let's say, video and e-learning already. So this is something which changed over the past years, because 50 years ago we learned using slides or books, but now we have the nice thing of learning technology. And you are, I'm pretty sure that you are familiar with this. I put some of the actual learning technology which I know, so educational technology, I put this on this slide. And so that market, that technology is evolving over the years. And in regards to mobile application as well as augmented reality, I found this beautiful example of the industry. Honeywell is using AR technology on an iPad to interconnect between people, but also to demonstrate pieces of technology. So really simple. They are using their digital twin models. So information, technical information, which comes from engineers, and they are using that to explain something to other people just using the iPads. I mentioned that this device also helps to interconnect, and this is, and if you ask me personally, this is the most crucial aspect of efficient and effective knowledge transfer. It's the social interaction between learners. And as we are talking about distance learning, it's not easy to be connected to somebody when you sit in your own room. Maybe comfortable on your sofa, in your kitchen, whatever. But definitely this is a challenge in distance learning programs. But I know that, for example, also University of Northampton considers that for their distance learning programs, you have to have some kind of study groups. And that aspect of social network we know already since years. So that's in ancient time, but of course I could not find an ancient a picture of ancient fireplace. So it started here. What is this? This is something which brings people together and start talking, start sharing information, start sharing stories. And it evolved over time, and now we are here. Now technology is supporting that. We have all these social media platforms, and that runs in parallel. So even if you are sitting in your living room alone, learning, you can text your buddy asking a specific question, what exercise number 5, I don't know how to solve this, please help me. And there you have a sort of university feeling, because you don't feel alone when doing that. However, how does that look in the real world? That was just pure theory. I moved from ThyssenKrupp to the chemical, so from the elevator business to the steel plant, and now I'm working in the chemical industry. And I have an example for you, which is an example in the chemical industry. So, development program for engineering managers. It's an 18-month learning journey for engineering staff, which is nominated by their supervisors. We have, because I was involved in the development, we have specific learning topics like self-reflection, personal development, leading business dialogues, whatever. So a comprehensive program. And we put together study groups. Every participant gets an iPad, so their own piece of technology where they have their own learning path, let's say, inscripted in, and they follow their own learning pace. Every now and then we do assessments. Every now and then we have these the activity in study groups. But at the end of the day, in this environment, this is the plant I'm working for. I'm working in. At the end, we have a comprehensive 18-month development program which considers all the aspects I mentioned before. And as I plan to develop my academic model of knowledge transfer even further and to put it into a book, I put all that for, let's say, for better display onto this slide. So these are, and I only touched few of them, these are the important aspects of knowledge transfer. For those of you who are interested to look into more details, please refer to the paper, which is in your books. Ask me in one of the coffee breaks. And actually, that brings me to the final slide, which leads to your questions.
Thank you, Thomas. Any questions for Thomas?
Thomas, just one question. I mean, this is obviously something which companies, organisations would need to buy into, and something that they would need to implement. How receptive are they to this sort of approach?
Okay. Actually, they respond very well. I'm in contact with universities, learning organizations, because they need parts of this. So this, you could say that this is not rocket science, but actually I put together a novel model how this all, let's say, interferes and interacts together. So universities I'm in contact with. I am about to release a website, an interactive website where you can, let's say, check your own, let's say, model to knowledge transfer in the company, in your learning organization, and you will discover how to improve that. So it's a kind of pulse check based on this model. So the reactions in the industry and in the educational world is there, but actually I need to, let's say, emphasize that a little bit. But your question reminds me of that. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you. That concludes the first session of the day.